All right, this is a reaction video to Terrence Gangsta Williams breaking the story about BG going to the grand jury and the situation that he got with the brother Canra Washington. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and know that I'm going to be riding. You know what I mean? So if you don't know what riding is, you're going to learn what it is now. All right? All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm doing this joint here. This is a breakdown of Terrence Gangsta Williams' video exposing the BG situation. So sit back, enjoy the ride. I'm going to take you on a ride. I'm going to give you some scenarios where I was in certain situations like that, other homies were in situations like that, and how I saw this play out, because we need to talk to the youth so that they understand exactly what is going on. All right, on July 16, 2009 in Louisiana, BG was riding a whip and he had a brother in the car with him from Houston, Canra Washington. Now, he was in the back seat, Canra, BG was driving, they had somebody else in the front passenger seat. So while they riding, they got pulled over and it was 446 grams of weed in it and a gun. The 446, grams wasn't nothing. In the feds, that's nothing. That gun is the problem, because you have to get a minimum of 60 months for a gun. That's the law. 60 months. If you're in the streets, you go to prison, whatever. So don't say you didn't know. You get caught with a gun, you're looking at 60 months. So don't say you're going to take a charge for a gun and then find out that you're looking at 60 months, which is 5 years approximately or more, So that's what that is. So the brother Canra said, it's my gun from the scene of the crime. Now, once he said that was his gun from the scene of the crime, because they saw a barrel sticking out from under the driver's side seat, BG was driving. So by right, they was going to give that gun to BG. Soon as they got pulled out, Canra, I'm walking you through this, so pay attention. As soon as they get pulled out the car, they see a gun sticking out from under the driver's seat. When they see the gun sticking out from under the driver's seat, they take them, and Canra Washington said, that's mine. You know what I mean? They seen some weed in the back seat, open on the towel or whatever. He said, that's mine too, So now he goes to the police station. Now, so once he goes to the police station, they charge him, they let them go. He tell them again in the police station, that's my gun, that's my weed. The passengers had nothing to do with it. Cut and dry. So now, he done did that. So now they release the passengers, BG and his other, passenger. So they free, and then Canra goes and he pleads guilty. And this is where it gets a little murky. Everything's going to be a little murky, but y'all got to weed through the lines. I'm just reporting so that y'all could read it how you want. First Canra said that BG, got him a lawyer, and then he said he didn't get him a lawyer. So now, once he said that, then he said that, the lawyer was BG's lawyer, so it was a conflict of interest. A conflict of interest is the same lawyer can't represent two of the same people. Now, this is where I ride. All right? This is where I ride, to give you an understanding. When I got locked up, my co-defendant hired a lawyer, because they got locked up first. They hired a lawyer down in Virginia, one of the best lawyers down in Virginia. So I get down to Virginia, everybody tell me about this lawyer, so I hired that lawyer. So when I hired that lawyer, my co-defendant's situation was already done, but here goes my situation now. And the prosecutor said, no, it's a conflict of interest, because his co-defendant that already pleaded guilty, that we're trying to get to testify against him, already gave him confidential informant that's considered as attorney-client privilege. When you talk to your attorney, do you have what they call attorney attorney-client privilege that your lawyer can't repeat, back, of course, unless they subpoena him and they play those games. But they tell you that. Like they say a husband and wife can't testify against each other, but they play those games. So now, the prosecutor put in uh, the same thing that I'm telling you, attorney-client privilege, conflict of interest, because my lawyer was my co-defendant's lawyer also. I think at the time my co-defendant was still going through it because I didn't even go to trial yet and I was the kingpin, so nothing couldn't happen. But my co-defendant, was willing to plead guilty. So the prosecutor won that. I had to get rid of that high-powered lawyer and I had to bring a lawyer down from New York, to work with local counsel down in Virginia. So that's how the attorney-client privilege worked. So being that dude already had, BG already had his lawyer on his case, so he couldn't take on what's the name. And if he paid for the lawyer, he couldn't take it on because the lawyer's working for the person that pay him, not for the person that he's representing. So that was attorney-client privilege. So the homies let this kid Cottrell know when he got in the system, yo, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You could have beat the charge because you said the gun was under the driver's seat, so it wasn't your possession, so you ain't had no business claiming it. But it seems to me that maybe, because I'm being, I'm trying to be unbiased, it seems that maybe, when this kid said that the gun was his, he goes to prison, they tell him he could have beat it. So once they told him he could have beat it, now he wants to fight it. But he already said from the scene of the crime on July 16, 2009, that the gun was his. He went to the police station, said the gun was his. So they all had an agreement. He did a video where he spoke himself on Terrence Gangsta Williams' joint. Make sure you check out Terrence Gangsta Williams' joint because he's breaking it down. A lot of things I might not agree with, but he is breaking it down from his point of view, and we don't hate on nobody over here at Unique Mecca Audio. But now, when he get on Terrence Gangsta Williams' joint, he says that, BG was acting like, a wussy and this and that. He told the police, put him in the car, get him in the car. He talked to me, said, don't worry about it, I'm going to claim it. Just look out for my mama, look out for my family, because BG was already dealing with his family, right? So now, when he does that, he's saying that BG, you know what I mean? I'm going to claim that. So they put in the police report that BG was willing to testify, that the gun was Cottrell's, right there. I don't think BG should have got caught up with it testifying, because when that paperwork go to the prison, all they're going to see is that you was willing to testify. So if you're willing to testify, that means you sat down with them, big bro. So BG obviously didn't know, and that's why I'm giving it like it is, because a lot of y'all don't know. Once you've been compromised by the authorities, and you enter into a federal penitentiary, no one deals with you. Now, a lot of people had in the comments, how could BG have walked the line if he told, because they checked the paperwork. Now, there's different scenarios to that. How could he have walked the line? First of all, that was not for the case that he was locked up for, that he was in the penitentiary. And that's the case that everyone is looking for, what he's locked up for now. Now, he caught that other case with Cottrell approximately 3 months before. And that played out. Cottrell told them that he's going to claim the gun. Now, where BG, and y'all put in the comments, where BG could have went wrong, but I'm going to keep it 100 from a street point of view. Under no circumstances should we ever have to go to the grand jury dealing with one of our comrades getting locked up. Violation. We don't go to the grand jury, not even if your co-defendant tell you to go there and say the gun is yours. Because if your co-defendant claims that gun and say, that was my gun in the car, that was my weed in the car, Only thing you got to say if you go to grand jury, if you choose to speak, because you have a right to remain silent, and that's why I got my shirts. You know what I mean? So cop the shirts, it's in the link below. You have the right to remain silent to shut the F up. If you choose to speak, all he needed to say, all I would have said is he already gave a statement. Whatever his statement is, that's what it is, And that's it. I plead the fifth from here on out. He gave a statement. But you don't go up there. I wouldn't go up there. If I'm going to say, I wouldn't go up there. And none of my reputable homies will go up there and say, yeah, it was his gun, it was his weed. No, we don't do that. The police investigate their own case. You understand? Now, let me ride and give y'all a little thing. Give y'all a little history here. Check this out. A lot of youngins don't know. If you get pulled over by the police, the best thing to do is to give the police the power. Not verbally, with your actions. No matter how much of a gangster you are, you play the square dude like you don't know nothing because all they know is your ID, you giving them and that's it. So therefore, you straight up, man, I'm nervous. I don't know, y'all got your guns out. Y'all pulled me over. I'm not used to this. You know what I mean? And that's it. And you give them the power. So once you do that, they laughing to themselves. Oh, he's square. He's green. You know what I mean? But once they feel that way, you neutralize them. But if you go and say, oh, I'm a gangster, I'm unique Mecca audio, and, I ain't talking to you. I got a right to remain silent. No, you don't have to do all of that. You just exercise that. But you play the role. Like, let me give you a story. I like to ride, Let me give you a story. I got pulled over coming out of a weed spot back in the 80s. Me and my man went up there. We smoked a weed in an abandoned building on 132nd. It was a weed spot, called it was a Buddha spot. That's what they called it. So we up in the Buddha spot. We smoking the weed. I come walking downstairs. We high as hell. Now, man, just abandoned building. Said there's no lights, no nothing. And it's dark as hell in there. So as soon as I hit the sidewalk, the bright lights hit me. Boom, my pupils bust up. And then there goes the police right there, And as I walk into the police, hey, what are you doing? Come out the building. You know what I mean? And I said, no, I had to use the bathroom, so I went in there. You know what I mean? And used the bathroom. And they said, oh, that's a known drug spot. They sell weed in there. Da, da, da. I said, man, I don't know nothing about that. I just went in there to use the bathroom. You know what I mean? So he said, well, you a fool because of this and that. And he's talking to me like I'm a sucker. He had this big, thick mustache. Like, if y'all don't even know him, but it's old player from baseball that played on the Oakland A's named Raleigh Fingers that had the big mustache with the curl handlebars. This was a black dude. He just didn't have the curl handlebars part, but it was thick. And I'm looking at this dude and he's talking to me and I'm like, dude, I got a 357 Magnum on me at the time. And I'm looking at him like, man, I could just blow your face off. This is what I'm thinking as I'm looking at him. Like, I could just blow your face off. You don't even know who you're talking to. And he say, don't you ever come over here again. And he's pointing at me and da-da-da-da. And he's going in on me, And I'm saying, nah, officer, I didn't know. I just had to use the bathroom. There's no bathroom. Where's that bathroom in case I got to use the bathroom next time I'm over here? Like, where do you use the bathroom at in New York City? You know what I mean? This is how I'm playing him. I had an out-of-town driver's license. So he said, no, you don't use the bathroom. You don't do that. Da, 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 da. And he's going. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, officer. And he's pointing at me and he's talking to me like he's chastising a baby. But inside, I'm laughing to myself like I could just blow his mustache off his face. So he said, now y'all get up out of here. Don't you ever let me see you around here again. I'm so glad he didn't search me and he felt for my green routine because I had this Magnum that would have automatically got me a year in Rikers Island. So we leave, we get in the car, we driving, and me and my man talking, and we still high. We light up another joint, smoke all in the car. And as we ride, I'm sitting there, and I look at my man, and we just started laughing, and we hit that. This was on 132nd and 8th Avenue. Now we on 157, 158 and 8th Avenue at Frederick Douglass, right by the Colonial, between the Colonial and the Polo Ground. So I got stopped at the light, and we at the light, and I got my foot on the brake, and we looking at each other, and my man said, yo, that dude really fell for your act that you was green. And we just started laughing, and I pulled out the mag, and I cocked the hammer back, and I'm laughing. I said, man, I could have blew his mustache clear off his face. And we laughing like a mother. And we laughed so hard, and the car was filled up with smoke that I had to put it in park at the light with cars behind me. And we had to get out the car to get some air to get our bearings back, because we did such a good job. When you get pulled over, that's when you give them your best acting. You know what I mean? That's when you're the biggest square. Like when I used to ride to Miami. When I go down to Miami, I used to have my Liz Claiborne shirt on and my Liz Claiborne shorts, and you know what I mean? And I'm hard on the flip-flop wearing in public trolls. But I used to have my sandals on. I used to like to wear my sandals with my toes out. But at least the sandals cover the heel up and strap over the front of your foot. You know what I mean? But, you got to look like a square. So when you get pulled over by the police, then on a license plate back then, we'll have the local college license plate frame around it. Might say, Gator Town or, Norfolk State. And you tell me you in college and you look like a square, and that's the way you play it. But you don't get out and act like a tough guy. So that's what I wanted to say about that. So y'all know when you get pulled over by the police, don't stick your chest out. You don't have to tell the police who you are. You let them do their investigation to find out who you are. Until then, you play square, you play green, and y'all laugh at it later. But of course, nowadays, these bastards would find something to say is wrong with, oh, look at me playing green, oh, he's scared to death. No, you have to make them believe you're scared to death. The same as, I ain't gonna go there because y'all ain't ready for that. But anyway, so that's what's going on with that. So Cottrell claimed the gun and the weed from the door. So now when he claimed the gun from the weed from the door, he also told him that his girl gave him the gun, brought him the gun from Houston to Louisiana. So that's what made it a federal charge. And that's what opened him up to the federal sentencing guidelines, which is 60 months minimum for a loaded firearm, right? Because it came across state line. So that's what made it fed. If he would have just said that it was my gun, I got it from here in Louisiana, it would have stayed state, and he would have probably got a year, maybe even got probation out of it. But once he said cross state lines, so if you get caught with something, always say it's from that state. Not trying to promote nothing, but just giving y'all the real on what it is. Because once it goes across state line, when you take something from one state to another, that's federal, whatever the violation is. So, that's where that was at. So that's where he violated. So then now, 3 months later, BG catches another case. So that was that case. You know what I mean? So 3 months later, he catches another case. He in a car with a couple of dudes. They get caught with 3 guns. Now they want a dude to claim the gun, so they want the dude to claim the gun. The dude is locked up, so they say, okay, let's bail him out so that we get an affidavit from him and, get him to claim the gun because he's looking at less time, which, of course, that's what we do on the street. So he gets out and, but his man is talking to his girl on the phone, and his man is telling his girl the whole play, how they're going to get the dude out of jail, and then they're going to use, they're going to put up some of the money, and then the kid will work the rest of the money off when they get out, and they need him to get an affidavit, they need to sign it, saying it wasn't his, saying this and that, and the whole time they listen, and when you call, they tell you when you call on the phone, this call is being recorded and monitored. You know what I mean? So that was a no-no. But anyway, so now they do that. They get that, they go in there, and when they go to court, it blew up in their face because the police brought the phone call showing everything that happened. So BG stood strong and claimed, his responsibility and wound up getting 168 months, which tallied to about 14 years. See, they give it to you a month, so by the time you calculate it, you're already out their courtroom and in the holding pen, and might even be all the way back in the county jail. He said, whoa, he said 168 months. I'm thinking that he mean like 16 months. You know what I mean? Now you talking about 168, man, and you're counting it on your finger like, oh man, that's 14 years. Now you're ready to pass out. But you can't cuss out the judge, can't do nothing because you ain't figured out till you got back to the cell. You see the games they play, right? So now, after he do that, they get caught up. They use, in the new case, they looked at some of BG old videos, and he had, him and his man that was in the car with the gun in the car, they had guns in the video, and they also charged BG for the gun that he had in the video. The gun in the video he got charged with, and the guns that he was in the car with his comrades that he tried to get the bogus affidavit done to get free. So he got that gun charge, and now he got another gun charge because they found the video with him holding a gun. So y'all doing videos, don't be making videos with no guns in your hand. And the crazy part is they can't even tell if it's a real gun or a fake gun. But bottom line, they're going to charge you as a gun because they're going to say it was real. So you can't even use proper guns in a video, which is crazy. Because I met a dude, I always ride. So you rat bastards could say that, he's deviating from the point. You know what I mean? It's whatever it is. You could go to another channel. Let me give you a 3-second count out. All right. And you already know. Take that with you on the way out. You know what I mean? So now, I met a Latin King dude when I was in Victorville. And he was locked up from Florida because he did a video and he was on probation and he had guns in the video and he was trying to say the guns wasn't real. And they didn't give a crap. They said he wasn't supposed to be around gun, and he wound up getting 14 years for using fake guns in the video because they said it was real. He wasn't supposed to be in possession of any firearm. And they didn't even have to prove if it was a real gun or not, but he got 14 years. So y'all watching this, that's why my Instagram is on the screen, Unique Mecca Audio, follow me. I'm gonna start doing more active things over there, and my Cash App is on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $2, or whatever. At the very least, just give me a damn emoji. But then make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video, and hit the notification bell. If you ain't gonna do the Cash App, not a big deal. So now that's where we at. So now, BG gets locked up for the gun in the video and the gun that was in the joint. Now, he had, from that video, that was on like April 2011. And the first situation happened July 2009. So that's like, almost 2 years apart. So that's what bagged him. But no one knew about this other joint. So you say, how could he walk on the compound? Nobody knew because they're looking for the case that you on. We don't have access to go on Pacer and do all that from on the inside unless we call someone on the outside, but we could just put their name in the computer and it'll show what it is. And BG name wouldn't have showed in the other case about him going to grand jury because it just shows the direct appeal and all the motions you found trying to get out of jail. Now, so the ineffective assistance of counsel, is what his man found to say that the guns wasn't his after he agreed to take it. Now, Terrence Gangsta Williams asked a question, and it was a good question. It's a good question. Like I said, I don't bash anybody. Whatever they do, that's on them. Allah is going to judge them. But he asked a good question. He asked about, if you go to the grand jury and testify, I think that's what it was. I don't remember what it was. What does that make you? First of all, you shouldn't have to ever go to the grand jury. You shouldn't have to ever go in anybody's court. We don't even take the stand in our trial. We can, but we don't even do that because that opens up a Pandora's box, as they call it, So now, Cottrell was facing 6 to 7 years. He said the lawyer BG got him, told him he was facing 1 to 2 years, and he lied, but that's what lawyers do. Lawyers tell us that we're looking at 5 years and we go in the courtroom and we wind up getting life sentences. So this is the norm, Cottrell. You know what I mean? This is the norm. So, I'm saying all that to say, that he took his guilty plea back and he decided to fight it. But when he decided to fight it, and y'all correct me if the timeline is right or wrong. First of all, I'm going to say it for the record, BG should not have went and testified to the grand jury. I wouldn't have went, speaking for me, using our words like I learned in psychology. I wouldn't have went and testified, and no real dude from the street is going to go and testify the gun belonged to somebody else when they already claimed the gun, because they got to tell the police, yo, he already made a statement. What do you got me in here for? He made a statement. Whatever he said, that's all you got right there. And that's what it is. So the case is closed because he said it was his gun. But then now, once he get locked up and people get in his ear, they start telling him you could have beat it. Now, after he gave his word to his comrades, BG and the other dude in the car, that he was claiming it from the scene of the crime. What I don't understand is, right, the video that Terrence Gangsta Williams played is real informative. Go watch these videos that he's putting up with the phone call from Cottrell, and y'all make your own decision because I don't want to, smear anybody or make any, my assessment of it. But Cottrell said that he claimed the gun from they found it in the car. But then he said BG was crying and complaining in the out there at the time when it happened, and he told the police, put him in the car with me, and he told them, do this, do that, do this and that. But Kittrell, just going off the facts from what Terrence put up, you said that when you saw the gun, that when they took you out the car and they got the gun, that you told them it was yours. You got to the police station, you told them it was yours. So where in there does all this other stuff about BG being, scared, and you tell them that I'm going to take it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that? I don't know. I'm just asking a question, because you claimed it from they pulled it out the car. That means that y'all probably had a conversation when you was getting pulled over, and however that play out, whatever that agreement is you made with your comrades, that's what it is. You don't then go back and take your plea back and try and renege on something that came out your mouth when only person have control of your tongue is you. So if you wasn't sure you was going to do that, I don't think you should have did that. But once you said, I'm going to claim it, you know what I mean? And then you go and you get sentenced and everything is done, you don't come back now and then try and implement your comrades that you gave your word to. Because when you give your word, you stick with your word. You know what I mean? Now, so ineffective assistance of counsel. So you understand. Ineffective assistance of counsel is saying that the lawyer lied to me. The lawyer told me I was looking at 1 year to 2 years. That's good enough grounds to go back. Or the lawyer told me to plead guilty. If you make these allegations, they must 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, 99 times out of 10, they're going to bring you back and they're going to make that lawyer give an affidavit saying if you did or you didn't. If you make an accusation against a lawyer, because he's represented under the Bar Association of America, if you make an accusation about a lawyer saying that he lied to you about what you was facing, he lied to you, about how much time you're getting, or he lied to you or deceived you in any way, the judge must 9 times out of 10, 99 times, you know what I mean? 99 times out of 10, the judge must call you back and get an affidavit. He's definitely going to tell the lawyer to give an affidavit to your allegation because your life was in his hands. That's why they tell you that you have attorney-client privilege. And that's why they have, conflict of interest. You got a co-defendant, your co-defendant pays for your lawyer, and both of y'all look at the same case. That means that your lawyer is looking out for you. That's like the Trump situation going on. Trump was paying for Giuliani's lawyer and all these other people lawyers, so that means that being that he's the one paying them, they looking out for his interest because that's who paid them. Do y'all understand that? All right? Now, Control took back his guilty plea. So once he took back his guilty plea, BG already went to the grand jury. Like I said, he shouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that. So let me make that I statement again. I wouldn't have did that. Go to the grand jury. Control violated. You understand what I'm saying? The agreement, the commitment he made with his comrades, and we don't do that. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I stick to my word, as DC dudes say, Joe. Stick to your word, Joe. You gave me your word, Joe. You know what I mean? Because no one controls what come out your mouth but you. If you scared and promised to give me 10 books of stamps, 20 books of stamps, and then now it's time to give me the stamps, and now you want to go back on that? Nah, you gave me a word, Joe. Now that's reasons for us to go to war. Because you wasn't forced to give me that word. Because you control what come out your mouth. So that's where we at. I just wanted to give you that so the youth understand what this is. We don't do that. You don't give your word and then take your word back because only you control your tongue. When they locked me up, they had me in ADX looking at 4 walls for 5 years, felt like they was caving in. I told you about that. Now, when that happened, so you understand, I'm stuck in this 4x4 cell. I can't then turn around and say, I want to take my plea back because I can't deal with this cell. When I gave my comrade my word that I was going to take the charge. I think that's what Terrence Gangsta Williams asked. That, you know, he was saying that the dude had a right to, you know, take back his plea. Yeah, you got a right to take back your plea. But when you give your comrades your word you're going to take the plea, now you shouldn't, let me say that, you shouldn't even entertain taking back your plea because you gave your comrades your word. So trying to justify that he got a right to take it back, no. You know what I mean? No. When you give your comrades your word, you're going to take a charge, you take the charge. And that's the way it works. You don't then say, I'm going to take my plea back and bring my comrades back in harm's way, because it's the same thing I told you when I got caught with the wine. You know what I mean? In the prison. And, you know, the lieutenant told me to go get somebody to claim the wine. My man claimed the wine. And, you know what I mean? They let me and my man out. So after they let me and my man out, they threatened to, you know, write us back up with charges. But I knew they couldn't do nothing because they already let us out in the charge. They already threw out the charge. But my man changed his mind at the DHO and said, I ain't claiming that. You already let the homies out. That wasn't mine. So now they panic because it would have fell on the lieutenant. But my man is a man of honor. He was from Tennessee. You know what I mean? Round of applause to Tennessee. He was from Tennessee. Round of applause. And relax, y'all. Relax. Relax, man. Relax. Come on. He was from Tennessee. They brought me back down to the SHU to go visit him. Because they did that in the penitentiary. They bring you over there and bring your man out to the holding tank, and they walk you in there and they tell you calm your man down when he throwing too much feces on the police, or, you know what I mean, he terrorizing, you know, the SHU back there. They bring you back there to talk to him. So, you know, you simple-minded rat bastards, flip-flop wearing in public trolls that'll say, why would the police bring you back here? That's the way they do it. You ask any man that been in there. So they take me back there to talk to my man. So I go back to my man, start laughing, say, you know, I already gave you my word, man. I'm going to claim that. I'm just messing with these people. I got to be back here in about another 6 months anyway. So, you know, I'm just messing with them. You know what I mean? And I said, oh, all right. You know, so I started laughing, gave him dap, hit him off with some stamps and some tobacco to smoke. You know what I mean? And he told the lieutenant, man, you know, I got this. Tell the DHO I'm ready to come in there. That's the disciplinary hearing officer when you go to trial. So he goes in there and he pleads guilty, you know. But he told that lady, yo, I'm my own man. I do what I want to do. You don't disrespect me when I come in. Told the DHO people. But that's how it is. He gave his word, so he stuck to it. The administration thought he was going to pull his word back, but they know they're dealing with men of honor, so they couldn't believe that he said he wasn't going to do it. So that's where we at, man. So you already know the routine. Cop the book of Roaring Harlem, man. You want to know what went on, you know, in my life. You know what I mean? It's at roaringharlem.com on Safari and Google. roaringharlem.com is where you put in to get the book, and it's also on Amazon, got 4.5 stars. You know what I mean? Let's make it 5 stars. But share the book, share the link, share everything with everybody. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's keep it 100. And share this video so y'all get the truth on what goes on here. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Real. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.
Moving like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top Beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.